Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today we are observing the disappearance day of His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodara Swami Maharaj, who was a great devotee and very dear to Srila Prabhupada. As we all know, that Maharaj was very humble, and almost everyone who has come in contact with him knew this thing, that how Maharaj was very humble and was always in very jolly mood. Because when someone will see such a great personality with such humility and in jolly mood, naturally one will be influenced by that jolliness or pleasure which the great devotee feels all the time by seeing other Vaishnavas and other people. So from that we can understand that Maharaj, he was very compassionate, Dayalu, very compassionate towards other living entities and specifically to the devotees. And his humility, that is the basic qualification of a Vaishnava, and that makes actually a Vaishnava a great person. And it has been stated that the humility actually is the greatest ornament of a Vaishnava. When a Vaishnava is humble and very compassionate towards other living entities, then naturally he will attract people towards him. So though Maharaj was from a very humble background and he was a great scholar and great scientist, so when he was studying in America, he was doing his PhD. That was the time when Maharaj for the first time met Srila Prabhupada. Though his friend Dr. Rao, who became later on Ramananda Rai, he actually invited Maharaj many times to go to Srila Prabhupada, but Maharaj was refusing to go, like Prabhupada was refusing to his friend to go to see Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur initially in Calcutta. Because Maharaj had seen in America that many sadhus from India, they had gone to America and they were doing business, one type of business by opening yoga centers and doing some kind of teaching and taking money from people. So Maharaj was not very much attracted to the so-called sadhus. So when Dr. Rao invited Maharaj to go to Los Angeles to see Srila Prabhupada, initially Maharaj thought maybe he may be another sadhu like that. So he was not very much interested. And Dr. Rao was almost going every day to Los Angeles to see Srila Prabhupada. And one day he asked Maharaj that, okay, tomorrow I am going to meet Srila Prabhupada, and this time I am giving you the last ultimatum. If this time you would not come with me, then my relationship with you will end for our life. I will not keep any relationship with you. So then Maharaj somehow he agreed to go with Dr. Rao. And actually that was the day when Dr. Rao got initiated by Srila Prabhupada. His name became Ramanandara. And he took Maharaj with him and introduced to Srila Prabhupada. So when Prabhupada saw him, actually that day Prabhupada had eye contact with Maharaj. Then another day, Ramanandara, he introduced Maharaj to Srila Prabhupada, and he told him that he was doing PhD. So Prabhupada told Maharaj that you people, he was almost chastising. He was in a chastising mood like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur did to Srila Prabhupada. So he was telling, you people, you have come to America to beg something, beg technology from them. But I have come here to give them India's greatest treasure, the spirituality of India. So why are you not taking this spirituality and preach to the scientists? So that was the first instruction Srila Prabhupada gave to Maharaj even before he was initiated. And actually Maharaj was a Vaishnava from his very childhood, and Prabhupada actually glorified Manipur that time. Prabhupada said Manipur is a Vaishnava state. The people in Manipur, they are naturally Vaishnavas. So you should also preach this Vaishnava culture all over the world. And specifically to the educated people, intelligent people, and the scientists, those who are motivating the whole world in their way of atheistic philosophy. So Maharaj was very much convinced by Srila Prabhupada's approach, and then from that day on Maharaj went almost every day to see Srila Prabhupada, and later on he was initiated by Srila Prabhupada as Swarup Damodara Das, and when he took sannyas, then Bhakti was added in his name. And Srila Prabhupada was actually very proud of him. And we have seen that whenever Prabhupada tells about him, he says, our Swarup Damodar. That shows that how Prabhupada was thinking him as his own. So when someone will think someone as his own, then he can say, oh, our or mine. So Prabhupada was always telling him, because Maharaj was a great Vaishnava and also very learned and a scientist. So Srila Prabhupada was thinking him to use, to convince the scientists and show their faults and bring them to Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada personally trained Maharaj. And we have seen a picture where Prabhupada used to go in the morning walk and Maharaj would be holding a tape recorder recording, he would be questioning and Prabhupada would be answering. So in this way, Prabhupada personally trained him up how to preach to the scientists. And here in Vrindavan, Prabhupada actually encouraged Maharaj to hold the first conference with the scientists. And though Prabhupada could not attend at that time, though he was sick, but still he was getting all information what was happening. And that was a very successful program in Vrindavan. And Prabhupada actually gave that charge to Maharaj through BI to preach to the scientists and make many conferences to convince the scientists that Krishna consciousness is the only solution for the problems of this material world. And one time, Prabhupada also wrote a letter to one professor where he was speaking about Bhakti Swarup Damodara Maharaj. So he was writing in that letter that Bhakti Swarup Damodar, he is very friendly to everyone. He can very easily make friends and he is not inimical to anyone. So that shows that the Guru is actually praising the disciple about his good qualities. This is very rare where the spiritual master praises the disciple, like we see Narad Muni, he was praising Prahlad Maharaj, his good qualities. So Maharaj was such a great personality that he was even praised by his own spiritual master. And in this way we can see that also in Maharaj's dealings with everyone, he was so affectionate towards everyone. And he would, as soon as he would see someone, he would smile. So that gives the impression that how Maharaj was affectionate towards everyone and how he was pure in his heart. A person pure in heart can also deal with others in the same way, in a purest way. So Maharaj's qualities are unlimited qualities, and we are actually unable to understand or even glorify all the qualities of a Vaishnava, because as Krishna's qualities are unlimited, so also the qualities of his devotees, they are also unlimited. And we can only get a glimpse of his good qualities and in that way glorify the pure Vaishnavas, and we become purified ourselves by glorifying the Vaishnavas. So it is our great fortune that we got such a nice Vaishnava in our society, whom Srila Prabhupada used to preach to the intelligentsia, and in that way to bring Krishna consciousness to high class people of the society. And Srila Bhakti Swarup Damodara Swami Maharaj's departure actually was a great loss for ISKCON, for our society, and also a great loss for the devotee world. So on this day, we pray at his lotus feet to give us that blessing by which we can become dedicated to Srila Prabhupada's movement, like he was dedicated fully for Srila Prabhupada's movement, and serve Srila Prabhupada and his mission and make our life successful. Hare Krishna.